Welcome to Getting Started with Serena Business Manager. My name is Hurricane, and I'm glad you've joined us on this learning path. Just so we're all on the same page, this is the first of a series of 13 videos for designers of Serena Business Manager process apps. This series will provide the fundamental concepts and skills to create and deploy a process app with Serena Business Manager Composer, configure it from Serena Business Manager Application Administrator, and test it in Serena Work Center. After completing this section, you should be able to explain how Serena Business Manager is used to automate and track business processes, as well as define basic Serena Business Manager terminology, as well as concepts. This is the first video in this Getting Started series. In addition, Serena Education also offers e-learning as well as instructor-led courses. The e-learning courses are SBM Essentials and SBM for Users. Following the e-learning courses, there are 3 instructor-led courses: SBM Designer and Administration, SBM Advanced Designer, and SBM Orchestrations and Scripting. Feel free to contact your sales rep or support for more information or with any questions you might have regarding your specific learning paths. Now, let's get started. Serena Business Manager, or SBM as we'll call it from here on out, is a platform for creating, managing, and using process-driven applications that deliver business solutions. So, what's involved in solving business problems? 3 things actually: people, data, and process. You see, where people are concerned, we need engagement. We need folks to be vested. As for data, we need all the relevant information to make the best possible business decision. And finally, in process, what are the steps to make sure that all the right people have all the right data to make the best decision for everyone involved? Well, have no fear. SBM brings all 3 of these elements together to create applications that ensure the right person gets the right information at the right time. SBM uses applications that we call clients to make this all happen. Each application has a specific function for the construction, deployment, and use of process apps. SBM Composer is the process app construction client. SBM Configurator completes installation and manages connections to several supporting servers. Application Repository manages the deployment and promotion of process apps into environments. Application Administrator, or Administrator Portal, manages user accounts, user groups, and auxiliary tables and data. And finally, Work Center. Work Center is where end users work in the deployed process app. A process app is a set of elements that work together to implement and track unique business process flows. Process apps include workflows, tables, forms, roles, projects, reports, notification, and various other elements. The screenshot you're looking at now shows a process app in SBM Composer. Elements of the process app are listed in the navigation pane at the left of the interface. The pending form is selected and displays in the content pane at the center of the interface. Each application in SBM is based on a workflow that models a particular business process. Once a work item has been submitted, it moves through the states and transitions of the workflow. The transitions are where the work is done to move the item from state to state. In this example, a new item is assigned, resolved, verified, and then closed. Once an item is closed, its data remains available for reporting and auditing. Workflow diagrams model each SBM application workflow. This diagram shows a simplified workflow to implement approval and tracking of requests for time off from work. Each request becomes a work item that moves through the states and transitions of its workflow. In the diagram, the states are indicated by boxes, the transitions by arrows. For each state, the work item has an owner who is responsible to transition the item to the next state in the workflow. Color bars, called swim lanes, can be used to indicate when ownership changes to a different user, such as when a request is approved or completed. Users interact with applications in the Work Center. This image is a simple form for approving time off from work. This work item is a request for time off that was submitted by the user named Carol and is now owned by the manager named Joe. Joe can approve, reject, update, or delete the request using the blue buttons on the form. Tables are used to collect and store data in fields. Each process app has one primary table that stores a record in the database for each item. Auxiliary tables are used to store information that is used repeatedly, such as names of companies and contacts. Information associated with each submitted item is captured and stored in data fields. These fields are displayed to the user in forms during the workflow process. You can view an item's field value when it is in a particular state. You can update an item's field values when you execute a transition. In the example form, the submitter of an issue must fill in the required fields indicated by an asterisk in red text. The remaining fields are optional on this form, but may be required at another transition in the workflow. SBM offers a rich set of privileges to finely tune the access granted to users. Projects are used to organize the items submitted by users. Projects can provide a hierarchy for structuring how items are tracked and may be an entry point into a workflow, or a placeholder to organize projects beneath it. You may not see the same projects in a process app that your colleague does, because the two of you may fulfill different roles in the process. Roles are used to assign sets of privileges to users. Users assigned to roles will share the same privileges as other members of that role in the process. User fields are often named after the role that the selected user fulfills when his or her name is selected in that field. This image shows the role associated with the selected project in the application administrator client. Finally, notifications in SBM are generally implemented as automated emails that notify users when certain conditions have occurred in the application. The emails can be configured to include information from the item that met the notification's condition and a link directly to the work item. The user in this image has subscribed to a common type of notification. I become the owner of an item for 4 different applications. Well, that's going to do it for Getting Started with SBM, the overview. Be sure to check out the next video in this learning path, Getting Started with SBM, Navigating SBM Composer. As always, check back often for more content here on KBTV. See you around.